What's up, people on the internet? My name is DAWgeek and I'm back with another health update. As many of you guys know, I was tested positive for COVID and I thought of sharing my journey about how I got out of it and some insights of the whole recovery process with you guys. So I'll try to keep it as short as I can, but it all started for me on the 20th of September after I got back from a weekend getaway trip with my extended family. And by the way, all of us were absolutely fine. Nobody had any symptoms at all. And once I was back, out of nowhere, I got this mild fever and a lower backache for 2 days. On the third day, I got a blocked nose and it wasn't even runny. It was all dry. I wasn't coughing at all. But on the third day, I contemplated, and since I have my mom who's a diabetic and she's got kidney issues, I thought I should just get myself checked. So on the 24th, I went for a COVID test, and 2 days later, I got a call from BMC saying that, "Hello sir, you went for a test?" I'm like, "Yes." "So you are a positive?" I'm like, "Okay." I honestly thought I would be a negative because that mild fever that I had disappeared. I had no body aches at all, and I was just left with a blocked nose. But still I was positive, and all those symptoms could be of any flu, any general viral fever that we usually get during weather changes. So yeah, now since I had tested positive, I think it was just better if my family also tested themselves. So on the 26th itself, I got both my parents tested for COVID, and ever since I had gotten back home, I had isolated myself. I had stopped having meals with them, and on the 27th evening, we got their results, and my mom and dad both were positive. I had isolated myself, but still, I guess I just passed it on to them. So they did test positive, but they had no symptoms whatsoever, nothing at all. And I had just a blocked nose. I could have easily stayed home and recovered, but especially with my mom's condition of diabetes and needing dialysis thrice a week, we had no option but to admit her. And we were looking for places where COVID patients can get dialysis done, and BKC was the only center that had some beds available with a dialysis unit separately made for dialysis patients. So we got a call from the government saying that okay, there is a bed available there, but since all of us were positive, they recommended all of us shift to the BKC center, recover and come back. And we thought it was a good idea because mom would get her dialysis done. She would be monitored continuously. In a way, it would have been safer for the neighbors too because our floor was supposed to be quarantined. So us going to a BKC center to recover would open up our buildings and less inconvenience to the neighbors also, more safety for them. And if any of us needed any kind of a medical attention, everything would be in place at that BKC COVID center, and they would take care of our food and everything else that you can ever think of. So on the 27th night, we decided we will get ourselves admitted to the BKC COVID center. We tried calling a few private hospitals also before we decided to go to BKC, but they have been ordered by the government to not take in any patients that have no symptoms at all, so that there are some beds available for the patients who are critically ill. So there was no option. It was a no-brainer for us, and we just decided to go to BKC. Now, since it's a government-funded center, people are sometimes not sure about going there because you never know how things would be over there. So what I have done is, while I was there, I recorded the whole experience to share it with you guys so you get an insight of how things work around there. So we confirmed our admission to the BKC COVID center on the call, and I think within 2 hours we got a call saying that okay, there'll be an ambulance waiting for you guys. So we quickly packed our bags, and by 12 o'clock we reached the BKC center. So let me just take you guys over there. So this is the BKC COVID center. This is the phase 2 of it, and this is how it looks. I'm going to show you some details about how things work around here. So this is the map of the division of the wards in the phase 2 of the MMRDA COVID hospital. So basically they are dividing people in different wards. Each ward has about 50 beds in it, and there are ICU units that are separate. And this is the main lobby from where we enter, and there are these different X-ray rooms. There's a CRPRT room, and different waiting areas and path labs and different kind of things. So these are the rooms for X-ray. There's a CT scan module right here and some more X-ray equipment on this side. ECG rooms over here, and this is the main lobby where people come here and they wait till they are admitted. Now the way they divide people into ward is according to their symptoms. So the least symptomatic patients will be kept inside this ward, and this one will be empty, ready for new patients to be filled in with. And yeah, this is an example of an empty bed, and this is an example of a bed after a patient has arrived. You can see blankets, the pillow covers and the bed sheets. You get a bed storage. There's a pillow, and the bed sheets and pillow covers with blankets are given. There's one charging point and a fan per patient. And as you can see, there are two washrooms, one there and one here. So two washrooms are shared between one whole ward of around 50 beds. And yep, it's pretty clean on the inside. I'm also quickly going to take you through the washrooms here so that you can see how clean they are. And it's actually really nice. It's pretty clean. It's got basic 3 basins. It's got one room. It's got international commode here. And then you can pee here. Your normal 2 more international commodes. And they've got shower rooms with an attached geyser in one of them. So you can have hot water any time of the day you want. And it's pretty clean, does the job. You can't expect much, but it's nice and livable. So this is a 6 a.m. scene here at this COVID center. The lights are full on because they need it if there is any kind of an emergency. Now this is one ward where there are patients with hardly any symptoms. This is where even I'm staying at. But there are more other wards which are more equipped, say with oxygen facilities for the patients who have trouble breathing. So they are kept in a separate ward. If there are patients with even more severe symptoms, they will be kept in a separate ward. So they are basically dividing all the patients according to their symptoms. It's more efficient for them to treat the patients. So this is the ward where people are on the oxygen. So this center passage has multiple water coolers. You can see one here. There's a chair to sit and fill your water bottle. There's one here which also has a sanitization machine that dispenses sanitizers. So there are a couple of water coolers down this whole hallway, and it's huge. It's like, I don't know, almost half a kilometer it looks like. So that's a huge facility. So this is the sanitizer dispenser and the water cooler again. So this water cooler dispenses really hot water, normal water and cold water, and you need a water bottle to fill water in it, and you can keep on sipping water all day. We are recommended about 2 to 3 liters of water minimum because we are getting a lot of these multivitamins, and yep, so we keep on filling our bottles and keeping ourselves hydrated. As the breakfast tray and chai tray, and breakfast has been served, and that's our tea. Thank you. Yo. And our food is here. It's been served like this. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Very well packed. So this is how they are serving the food. Very neatly packed. And there's roti in the foil and nicely packed sabji, rice with a spoon. Super neat, right? You like it?
Clean,
Very clean.
better than
That's my food here. So apart from these wards, there are more rooms. There is ICU, there is a dialysis unit, a state-of-the-art dialysis unit because my mom uses it. and I asked her to grab some pictures from there, and it looks absolutely hygienic and state of the art. I have not seen the ICUs because there was no need for me to visit them, and we can't visit a lot of places apart from this common area over here. So, but the facilities are superb. Okay, so every morning we come here, they test our oxygen saturation and blood pressure, and it gets uploaded on this one dashboard that keeps a record of everyday values, and we can access it. And before they test us, safety. By the way, this doesn't just take our blood saturation and blood pressure, but every report that we have gotten, X-rays, ECGs, everything is uploaded on that dashboard, and you can actually share those reports with your doctors because you have the access to it from your dashboard. It's a good thing, a good way of tracking what's actually happening with you, and happens every day. 97.
बीपी नहीं, प्रेशर नहीं, डायबिटीज नहीं, शुगर नहीं.
क्या सिस्टर स्पीकिंग
100. 99. So ये अपडेट हो जाता है डैशबोर्ड में with every other reports, X-rays, ECGs, CBC बोलते हैं ना? CBC. Everything is updated there, and you can have a check. Yep. Full saturation, 0 to 100. So if you have been tested positive and you're looking to recover at a place apart from your house, I think these COVID centers are the place to be. You don't require to go to a private hospital. You can totally come here, recover, and go back home, and we'll take care of everything, including food, medicines, all your tests, everything streamlined in a place. They have superb experienced doctors that keep a check on you from time to time, and what else do you need? You just trust your government for once. They've done a really good job with the center. So for me, it's been about a week that I'm here, recovered from every little thing COVID has given me. And as somebody who spends so much time here, I would totally recommend this place. I hope with this video I helped you break any prejudices you must be having for these government funded COVID centers. And yep, big ups to MMRDA for coming up with a place like this. I think in a couple of days, 2-3 more days, I'll be given a discharge from here. And once I'm back home, I'm going to stay home, and I'm going to make sure that I'm all healthy and not putting others at a risk. I'll only step out after I'm COVID negative, and I think you should do that too. Don't be afraid of taking tests. The earlier you get detected, it's better for your own recovery. I did it on time. I had no symptoms, and my family tested positive. They had no symptoms. All of it because it was all done on time. So I hope you guys stay proactive when it comes to testing. In the meanwhile, stay home, stay safe. And so that's his discharge sign.
Getting discharged. So the last part of the visit of the center. Very good services.
We have no symptoms left to tackle anymore, so we have packed our things. All these things will go for a wash, and we are ready to go. Bye bye. I don't know if I'm gonna miss all this, but it was quite an experience, but a good one, a good experience. So let's go home, and off we go. And we are looking at the outside world after good 8 days or something, 8 to 9 days. I've lost count. Yeah, let's go. What do you feel? We feel freedom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go. And we are out. So that was that. we had nothing to complain about. The facility was insane. The staff was nice, the doctors were nice, the food was good, and the place was clean. And basically, you shouldn't expect more. You just go there, recover, and come back home. Dad and I, we spent about 8 days over there, and we continued being at home and our quarantine over here for 2 weeks after we were discharged. They kept mom for a week more, and they made sure that she was sent only after her report came back negative, and her dialysis was happening there until then. So mom's also back home, and fortunately all of us are back home, all healthy. All our tests are clean, no inflammation happening in the body anymore. CRP tests are extremely normal. Antibodies tests, they usually happen after a month of your positive report, so that's still gonna happen for us. We were extremely fortunate that the infection was extremely mild for all three of us, and we are back home and safe. Since there were no major symptoms, we didn't even require any strong medicines such as Flu or any of the injections that they give to release your lungs from any infections. So I would say it was very fortunate, and apart from the multivitamins, zinc and vitamin C and vitamin D tablets, nothing was given to us. We still continue taking those medicines at home on our own, and those are just basically immunity boosters, so that's still happening for us. If you ask me about the side effects that I faced after the recovery phase, yes, I lost about 2.5 kilos of weight. I used to feel tired and fatigued for about 3 days of coming home, and that slowly faded away in about a week's time, and now I'm back in action. All of us are. So, yep, the infection was real. It wasn't a false positive. So a person with similar symptoms could also recover at home. That's totally possible, but only if a doctor is supervising you. But being in a facility always helps, because if something goes wrong, you need to have everything around you to help you in that situation, and that's only possible if you are admitted to a hospital or you're in a COVID center. So yeah, you could recover at home, but only under a doctor's supervision, if there is a doctor who's gonna keep a tight check on you all the time. And yep, there were a lot of people supporting us from the outside while we were inside. They were so involved in everything that was happening with us. Our family outside that helped us get all the supplies that we needed. Some doctors in the family, special shout out to Neha Sampath. She was insane when it came to keeping a tight check on all three of us from the outside. So big shout out to her. All of you guys who showed concern, sent us messages, and just were there from the outside, mentally supporting us. Our neighbors, our family that sent us a lot of nice food once we were back home, and it just makes us feel so special and so loved. So thanks to each one of you for this. There are no words to describe how thankful we feel for all of it. So yep, and with my intent of making this video as interactive and as informative possible, I think it's become too long. So I'm just going to wrap it up by saying that it's not over yet. Even for us, we got to be even more careful, because now there are cases of COVID relapses that are harder than the first time when it hits you. So we still got to be safe and be very careful, be very mindful of our bodies and how it's reacting to things, and keep a tight check on everything, every little thing when it comes to your health. So yeah, don't be afraid of testing. Please test. Self-isolation sometimes doesn't work. Don't be afraid to go to these government centers to isolate yourself, to keep your own family safe. So yep, I hope all of this helps. And if you need to ask me anything about my experiences or any questions that you have about BKC COVID Center, feel free to drop in a message and I'll be happy to help. Until then, I wouldn't say stay home, but be very careful when you go out, because you cannot know when it's gonna hit you. And even when I try to backtrack it, I haven't been able to find my source of the infection hitting me. So it's there around you, you won't be able to see it. So be extremely careful. Keep washing your hands, keep wearing your masks. I did all of it, I still got it. But I guess we gotta live with it now. So, and I hope a very safe vaccine comes out as soon as it can. I'm praying that it doesn't happen to you or your family. but if it does, don't be afraid and you can fight this. So yeah, 2020 has been a tough year for a lot of us in a lot of ways, and I hope the rest of it doesn't feel as long as this 20-minute, 20-second long video of mine. But I hope that you liked what you saw, and stay tuned. I'm going to be coming up with a lot more music, a lot more exciting updates. Until then, take care, and I'm going to see you next time.